Guys, Will here with W.T.F Car Reviews, and today we're going to be reviewing this all-new 2022 Genesis GV80.
And huge thanks to Mark Bedell and the rest of the management and staff here at Gettle Genesis in Sarasota, Florida for making this review possible. These guys have an impressive dealership. I'll leave a link to their inventory below, and if you're looking for a new premium vehicle in the Sarasota area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out and ask for Mark.
And for those of you guys who don't know, the GV80 is Genesis' all-new mid-size luxury SUV, available both as a 2- and 3-row variant, also available with two different engine options, the standard 2.5-liter turbo, making a very hefty 300 horsepower, 311 pound-feet of torque, enough to get the SUV to 60 around 6 seconds, or an available upgraded 3.5-liter twin-turbo V6, making a more hefty 375 horsepower and 379 or 389 pound-feet of torque, enough to get the SUV to 60 in the low 5-second range, making it a much better performer. However, it is a costly option. It's going to cost you about $10,000 to go with the V6 twin turbo as opposed to the still pretty powerful 2.5T. The 2.5T is available in 3 different trim levels, starting with the base. You can option up about $4,500 to the advanced or the prestige for about $9,000. The prestige package gives you just about everything you get from the advanced package, including a whole bunch of other goodies. The advanced package, of course, includes leather seats, Lexicon premium audio with 21 speakers, a surround view monitor, blind spot view monitor, remote smart parking assist, parking collision avoidance assist 2. The Prestige package, of course, is an additional $5,000 on top of the $4,600 advanced package, which includes 22-inch alloy wheels with all-season tires, electronically controlled suspension, ergo motion seats for the driver, 3-zone climate, heated second-row seats, active noise control for the road, 12.3-inch 3D digital gauge cluster. Hopefully you guys can pick it up on camera. I'm not quite sure how the 3D would work on camera. We also get the heads-up display with the Prestige package. Outside of that, the only options on this 2.5T Genesis GV80 all-wheel drive Prestige is this Adriatic blue paint color for $575. After a $1,000 destination charge, expect the total vehicle price to be sitting at $67,000. What do we get for that money? Let's jump right in. So up front, you notice your full LED headlamps for the high and low beam, daytime running strip in the center. I'm loving this smoked chrome black grille. I'm usually not the biggest fan of chrome, at least when it's shiny. Here it's not very shiny or reflective. Nice smoked finish with a forward-facing camera. As you mentioned, we get the 360 with this Prestige model. You get the radar cruise control beneath, forward parking sensors, functional airflow. Hopefully I could pick up that airflow for you. It's actually pretty impressive size. Ton of airflow for the radiator and intercooler for this turbocharged 2.5-liter V6. You notice the Genesis badge right up top. As far as the wheel and tire setup, of course, the Prestige gives us these massive 22s with the pretty large Genesis Brembo style brake caliper. These 22s are wrapped in 265/40 R22 Michelin Primacy Tour all-season tires, some of the better all-seasons in the business. Everything's body color surrounding the wheel well. You get an additional side sensor. I'm liking that trim outside. It does light up, so pretty cool. You usually don't see lights in this area of SUVs or really any cars on the road. Body color mirrors, this blue metallic paint really shines in the Florida sun. An additional mirror for the blind spot and a little zone light as well. Smart access for all 4 passengers, smoke chrome for the window trim, blacked out B-pillar. I'm liking the tints here too. Definitely a nice finish. Out rear, the wheel and tire setup is basically the exact same. We get these 22s, 265/40 R22s, Michelin Primacy Tour all seasons. Only difference is a smaller non-Brembo style brake caliper. It would be nice to get some like blue calipers, like up front it's just a painted silver. I feel like a nice blue body color theme would really make this SUV pop. The gas cap is a push to open, no easy fill, which is pretty odd, but not really a big deal. You just screw open your gas cap. Premium fuel is recommended. I'm liking the spoiler area. We don't get the wiper integrated with the spoiler like a lot of other Hyundai products. GV80 emblem, running lights, daytime runners for the taillights, Genesis badge in the center, 4-wheel drive, GV80. You can take a look at your exhaust tips, rear parking sensors, of course. But speaking of exhaust tips, let's start this 2.5-liter turbo up. And here how she sounds. Alright guys, that was of course the sound of the 2.5-liter turbo sold by Genesis for this GV80. It sounds pretty good, but the rev style is very slow when you lean into the gas pedal. Once you figure out this latch, we can check out this Motor, of course, 2.5-liter turbo, making a really hefty 300 horsepower, 311 pound-feet of torque, enough to get this SUV to 60 in the low 6-second range, around 6 seconds, and we get these strut tower braces connecting to your chassis, which should really help the handling, which we'll check out once we take this SUV out for a drive. But what you see is basically what you get. Pretty clean setup overall. You see the intake tunnel, which should suck in some cold air through your pretty large hood, but we can shut this thing up, take a step back, get a look at the light pattern one last time. And all right, guys, so in order to check out this automatic parking feature, or the helping parking feature, in case there's 2 people parked extremely close to your GV80, all you got to do is remote start by locking up, pressing and holding the remote start button, and we start right up. And now that we're started up, you can press this forward button. Imagine there's 2 cars that jam you in your spot, and you don't want to open up the door into your, or the cars that are next to you. You can simply creep your way out of here until your door is right outside of the parking spot. And in case like a kid runs in front, see how I just walked a little bit close and the vehicle sensed me. Same thing goes if there are like no parking spots left in the parking lot except for one where both cars are creeping over the white line. You can simply hop right out of your GV80 after you line it up in the spot. This way you don't have to ding your door as you try to make your way out of it. You can simply press this back button on the remote and the vehicle starts to reverse. And same thing, it's not going to run over the curb. It's not going to hit me because as soon as I get close, the vehicle simply stops. And I have full confidence in this feature because we reviewed it countless times in all the Hyundai cars. So it definitely works. It's a really useful feature, and it can really help you quite a bit, especially in some tight parking spots. As you notice, the side mirrors actually fold in too while using this feature, because it knows if you're going to be using this feature, you probably don't have a whole lot of space on the sides of your SUV. But overall, huge thumbs up, really useful feature, and I'm really glad Genesis included it here for this 2022 GV80 Prestige. As far as this interior, also super impressive. Let's take a step over here and check it out. This is where this car really shines. Again, this is the Prestige. If we didn't mention the mirrors, fill up the entire glass with the blind spot monitors on it. As far as the interior though, check this out. This is such a beautiful interior. You got the beige tan leather, full leather for the upper part of the door panel, wood grain trim beneath, aluminum, really good resistance, 3 speakers on your door panel, beautiful tan baseball glove color, leather stitch trim with some really dark navy blue accents, all leather, auto one touch for all 4-way adjustable mirrors, power folding, and you got the lock and unlock 2-person memory seats. And as far as storage, this bottom area is still soft touch. It's not lined with felt, but everything is soft touch in here. The quality in this SUV is absolutely fantastic, guys, and storage wise, you could probably fit a foot long with a 16-ounce right next to it. Genesis nameplate as we step inside. These seats are absolutely phenomenal. We got the Ergo Motion seats from Genesis, certified and recommended. Not quite sure what that means, but I guess we can figure it out. I'm liking this perforation for the heated and cooled function. Adjustable thigh support. You can adjust the lumbar, adjust the bolsters, recline, drop, lift, and slide the seats. Super adjustable, and they are massage as well. As far as the interior itself though, we can take a step inside and really check it out. And first thing we notice is the steering wheel. Hyundai and Genesis have been killing it with their steering wheels. Super thick, excellent 10 and 2, perfect 9 and 3. The horn area is massive. The entire like center portion is horn, and it has a nice rubberized texture. As far as the horn itself, pretty aggressive sounding horn. People should definitely get out of your way. Voice commands, you can adjust the volume, skip your songs, and the AM FM function on the right side. Active steering, you can adjust the infotainment up top, and these also adjust your infotainment and your cruise control settings beneath that. Paddle shifters too controls this 8-speed automatic transmission. Auto high beams, the turn signal stocks have a really satisfying click, and as you notice, those blind spot cameras show you everything that's in your blind spot when you use your turn signal. So also a really cool feature. Auto rain sensing wipers, also a nice luxury feature, and this steering wheel leather has a really nice soft padded texture to it. Huge thumbs up to Genesis. To the left, the steering wheel interior brightness. You can turn off your auto start stop. For the purpose of this review, we'll do exactly that. Turn off your traction control, tailgate release, electronic parking brake. A little bit of that's not secret storage, that's your fuse box. You can open up your hood and you can get a good look at your super grippy pedals. The steering wheel is a power tilt and telescope. The dashboard is all navy blue, beautiful stitched leather trim, 14-inch touchscreen. This thing is massive, and yes, the touchscreen, it's a little bit far away, but Genesis thought it through for the people who don't want to reach all the way to the touchscreen. To move left and right, you simply turn this dial. We can check out the map simply by pressing OK, and the map is huge, of course, with this 14 or 14.5-inch touchscreen. It's super responsive with this dial, thumbs up. It's not quite as responsive as the ones that actually stick up out. You have to actually like use this like an old school telephone from like the 70s and whatnot, but other than that, it's still a thumbs up. And if you don't want to use the dial, you can always just reach a little further and use the touchscreen. But as far as what we get the map, navigation menu, Sirius, media, HD radio, connected services, phone projection, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, of course, voice memo, setup, valet mode, seats. You can see all of that, as well as your user manual through your infotainment. All super nice features. I'm heating up back here. It is hot. I'm going to turn this air down up by a little. Hopefully you guys can still hear, but I am really burning up. My personal favorite to look at all times would just be the map, though. That leather stitch navy trim continues throughout. The engine start stop button has like a nice little crystal finish. Dual zone, well, tri-zone auto climate. It's auto climate out rear as well. Heated and ventilated seats, heated steering wheel, and this is all a touchscreen too. If you don't want to use a touchscreen, you have the buttons surrounding it, and this dial controls the temperature of your vents. Beneath, we get a wireless charging pad, 2 USB ports right next to it. You can shut this thing up. It exposes more of that wood grain trim, which continues throughout this entire center area. We have the Genesis key currently housed. As we noticed, we have this auto parking feature where you can slide the vehicle forward and back simply by a push of a button. I'll demonstrate that towards the end of this review after we check out this interior. More wood trim when you close that up. Again, this is your infotainment selector with the shortcuts right in front of it. Nice aluminum finish for the surrounds. The gear selector actually sticks out. I kind of wish that they did the same thing for this infotainment dial, where it actually stuck out instead of that old school telephone style where you got to push your finger down. But not really a big complaint. I'm sure every owner is going to get used to it super quickly. And the gear selector has like a nice crystal finish too. The rear view camera in this vehicle is also super impressive. You throw it into reverse, you get a full rear view 360 right next to it, and you can still see your GPS all while you're in your rear view camera. You get the guidance lines and trajectory. You can change between different views. You get a little trailer hitch view if you have the trailering package on your GV80, and blind spot views, so you don't have to worry about scraping your really nice 22-inch rims on this GV80 Prestige. You press this button, we get a 360. You can see a nice side angle of where your GV80 is, and it's like a full 360. This thing is insane. Check this out. Wow, like beautiful. I kind of wish that we had that blue metallic GV80, but it's still a nice white color for this 360. Definitely can't complain. You can also press the button, you return right back into your side corner, and as soon as you press this park button, you return back to your original map screen. Drive mode select here. Of course, we can check them out. We got the Eco, Snow, Comfort, Sport, and Custom mode. We'll start this review off in Comfort, transition into Sport, and just see what the overall differences are. This armrest has a really soft leather beige or leather tan trim to it. You can open it up by pressing the button underneath, and it opens up. It's pretty large, guys. Very deep. I'd expect you to fit maybe 2 2-liter bottles of soda in there. Lined with felt. You don't get a USB or USB-C port or any 12 volts or whatnot, but the storage in there, pretty impressive as far as the glove box. If I call that a glove box again, I'm sorry, it's your center console. The glove box also has the soft touch texture surrounding it. Damped, lined with felt. Super wide. You could probably fit 2 pairs of shoes in there with no problems, and probably 25, maybe even 30 license plates. What a beautiful interior, guys. We got the frameless rear view mirror with the 3 garage HomeLink settings on it, LED interior lights, and a dual panoramic moonroof. So you got the single panel of glass up front and an additional one out rear. We can open them up just by double clicking. See how they open up together. Pretty cool. And open up the moonroof by double clicking one more time, and it's a reasonably quick process. It opens up very far, basically all the way out to the second row. Doesn't open up any farther, but pretty large opening. Of course, the rear doesn't open, but it still brings a ton of light into this cabin. We can shut this thing up. We'll leave the shade open, so when we hop out back, you guys can get a good sense of the light brought into this cabin. I said we'll leave the shade open. No suede or anything for the headliner, not the biggest deal. I haven't shown you guys this 3D gauge cluster too. You guys got to check it out because it is super unique. It actually sticks out 3D noticeably. I'm not sure if you'll pick it up on camera, but we'll go through the modes over here. So we'll start off with the driver assistance mode, compass / turn by turn, and like I don't know if it translates on camera to 3D, but it really trips you out. Very unique. You can also scroll between tire pressure, attention level, accumulated info, and your drive info. We get the driver assistance, of course, as well, but that's really about it. To the right, we have our reverse moving tachometer. Not quite sure what the red line is because it is not labeled. To the left, we have a 160 mile/hour speedometer, traffic sign recognition, gas level to the left, average fuel economy, and the outside temperature below. But that's about it, guys, for this interior. Also, we get a heads-up display But let's check out the back seat, see how much space is offered back there, as well as the overall quality of the materials. All right, guys, step into the back seat of the 2022 Genesis GV80. Up top, everything's soft touch materials. Up front, we had dual pane windows. As far as out rear, only single pane, but there's still a very thick piece of glass. The middle portion is still that wood grain trim, blue, navy blue leather for the middle portion, and the armrest. Really liking the quality of these materials, some tan contrast leather beneath. The materials down here are still soft touch, decent storage. You could probably fit a 12-ounce and a 6-inch sub right next to it. An additional 3 Lexicon speakers for this 21-speaker audio system. The rear seats are still beautiful, pretty supportive for rear seats, nice soft tan leather. The adjustments are pretty limited. All you can do is basically fold the seats and recline them, which is still pretty nice. But taking a step inside, as far as legroom, you can move these floor mats and plastic covers out of the way, but pretty decent amount of space. I still have like 5-6 inches of legroom, pretty competitive with the segment, right about the same as the BMW X5 that we reviewed in this channel. Nice little cargo net, mat pocket, and you can adjust the rear seats or the passenger seat right over here. So if you want to sit behind the passenger and they're taking up too much space, you can move it without necessarily having to ask them. Third zone climate control, which is nice heated rear seats, and you got your aluminum outlined air vents right above the center cubby. It has a string on it, so you don't have to jab your hand inside of it. 2 cup holders with a pass-through. You press this button, it opens up a little bit of secret storage. You could probably fit, I'd say, 4, maybe 5 iPhones on top of each other if you spread them apart. So pretty decent amount of space. I'm impressed with this interior, guys. Solid light brought into this cabin thanks to these dual panoramic moonroofs, and the interior light back here is also LED. That's about it for the back seat, guys. Let's check out the trunk real quick and then take this 2022 Genesis GV80 out for a drive. All right, guys, to step into this trunk, all you have to do is press this button right underneath the wiper stock. You got to press a little harder than that, and the trunk opens right up. It gives you a second, so you don't have to worry about getting smacked in the face by the tailgate. But this trunk area is very large. You can easily see that this could be a 3-row SUV with a solid amount of space. You can fold the second row seats down simply by pressing those 2 buttons. Additional 12 volt. Everything's outlined with felt. You get more speakers. I'm not quite sure where the subwoofer is in this SUV, but I'm pretty sure you do get one underneath this Genesis pile of floor mats. You can see some secret storage where you have a tonneau cover and a decent cubby where you could probably fit a backpack in the left corner. So pretty impressive. I'm liking those little cargo nets. You can throw a shopping bag at least on this side, not have to worry about it sliding around. And the rear seats do fall down 40-40-20, and with those seats folded down, I'd expect you to fit really like an 80-85 inch TV. I don't think they make TVs that wouldn't fit in this tailgate area. Very impressive from Genesis. The only problem is the step-in is a little high. I'm 6 feet tall, and it's about 6 inches higher than my knee. So if you have older or smaller pets, they may have a problem hopping back here, but we can close this thing up. Again, we get a second before the tailgate falls, so we don't have to worry about getting smacked in the head. But as soon as the tailgate falls, we'll take this 2022 Genesis GV80 4-wheel drive out for a drive. All right, guys, now we're just about seeing everything we need to see with the inside and outside of this all-new 2022 Genesis GV80. Let's take it out for a drive. And the first thing I notice is the heads-up display is actually pretty large. An impressive size heads-up display, and the materials for where my knee hits are all leather touch, which is a very premium feel. But we can take a step out onto this multiple lane highway, lean into the gas pedal about halfway. Ooh, doesn't feel too strong initially, but once that boost kicks in, you definitely feel a decent amount of power. All right, guys, taking a step out onto this road, we can lean into it about halfway. Passing power is strong. Yeah, guys, this thing can move pretty well. It doesn't like blow you away in terms of speed. It's definitely no 3.3T in the G70 that we just reviewed in this channel, but it still feels really nice. I like those blind spot indicators. The steering feels directly on center. We're just in comfort mode. That's probably why the throttle doesn't feel a whole lot sensitive. We can throw it into sport real quick. Everything turns nice and red for the display. Hopefully you guys can pick it up, and it still keeps that 3D theme. We got a lot of cars on the road. It's not too ideal when it comes to testing out this vehicle's performance. It looks like that guy's turning away. We can try out a second gear pull, boost. Not bad. This thing could definitely pick up speed pretty well. Again, it doesn't blow you away in terms of speed, but it still feels plenty strong. Low end torque is, whoo, yeah, we catch up the traffic pretty quickly. But as far as the handling in sport, the steering feels directly on center. The gear shifts are quick. All right, guys, try a little passing power in sport. Woo! pretty strong. Definitely picks up speed well. Again, it doesn't blow you away. If you really want that strong performance, go with the 3.5 turbo. This vehicle still feels plenty peppy. 0 to 60 around 6 seconds. Definitely nothing to like joke about. As far as these paddle shifters, try like a 3rd gear pull on the gas, boost. Again, it gets the speed. Definitely not what this SUV is about. We can throw it right back into automatic mode. And I really like the steering in sport. If I was owning this vehicle, I personally would leave it in the steering with the sport in the individual modes. Like right here, the steering feels so on center. It takes very little effort to get this vehicle to turn directions. Those strut tower braces certainly help. And the road isolation is absolutely ridiculous. I didn't even realize that we're pushing almost 2,500 RPM. So you throw it right back into comfort. Quiet, you hit those manhole covers, you feel nothing. This is such a soft ride. Reminds me of like the Ram Limited in terms of ride quality. We're gonna make this yellow light right here. Okay, boom, ride quality is absolutely fantastic. Wow. And right here, we could try out a real world U-turn as far as turning radius. Pretty good, that's not bad. And coming out on the gas, woo, yeah. Kind of falls on its face a little bit after 5,000 RPM, but up to 5,000, it pulls pretty strong. And even on this concrete pavement, the road noise is basically non-existent. The sound isolation in this cabin is truly incredible. Obviously, the 3.5 liter turbo is the motor that everybody wants with this SUV, but for the $10,000 premium, it's not necessarily the most realistic, especially with the fuel prices nowadays. The 300 horsepower, 311 pound-feet of torque, 6 seconds 0 to 60 is probably more than good enough for most consumers on the road today. Obviously, you want to get the extra power, but for the $10,000, you could probably get the same overall power numbers with just like a $600 tune for this 2.5 turbo. So overall, as far as its power plant, really not much to complain about. And just cruising along at highway speeds, like the isolation from the road is just so impressive. The steering wheel feels just so soft, thick, and just overall perfect in your hands. I am really liking this vehicle overall. I can see this being an extremely ideal daily driver. All right, one more time, guys. Stepping out onto this multiple lane highway, lean into it, and yeah. Quick shifts, and we get to highway speeds really quickly. The wind noise isolation in this, I've been bringing it up this whole time. This wind noise isolation is truly ridiculous. It sounds like we're inside right now. The fact that we're moving over 40 miles per hour and you hear literally nothing through the cabin is borderline unheard of. Not quite sure why the steering wheel was just vibrating at me. There were no cars anywhere around, but okay. Other than that though, really no complaints to this vehicle so far. If you're looking for a luxury mid-size SUV, this is honestly probably the best you're gonna get for the money. When I originally saw that 67,000 window sticker, I was like, wow, this is a little bit overpriced for a Genesis. But comparing it to like competition from BMW, Volvo, Mercedes, this interior feels just as good as like Mercedes, while still costing you about like $5,000 or $6,000 less. So it is a great bargain. This turbo 4-cylinder, I kind of wish that the V6 was standard for a vehicle in this price range, but you're still getting very good power, and the fuel economy is better compared to the 3.5 liter. All in all, guys, this is an extremely impressive luxury SUV. The road isolation is really impressive. Such a quiet interior. The ride quality is excellent with this electronically dampened suspension. The luxury and features, there's not a single material in this vehicle that doesn't feel luxurious. It would be nice to get like a suede Alcantara headliner like you would from like the Calligraphy Hyundais. I'm kind of not sure why we don't have that, considering the Calligraphy Hyundais have a Alcantara headliner. But if that's my only complaint for this vehicle, that just shows you how impressive it really is. Base price around $66,000 for the Prestige. Not that crazy considering the base price for the standard 2.5T all-wheel drive is $56,000. So $56,000 for a really impressive luxury SUV. You add all these goodies, totaling out to around $66,000, $67,000. Still worth it in my opinion, because on this channel at least, we haven't reviewed a whole lot of SUVs this luxurious. The 14.5-inch touchscreen, 12.3-inch 3D display, unbelievable heads-up display, frameless rearview mirror, 360 monitor. You got it all in this vehicle. The resolution for those cameras is also extremely impressive. Really not much you can't like. I'd like to give a huge thanks to Gettle Genesis here in Sarasota, Florida for making this review possible. Huge thanks to Mark and Andrew for helping me get the keys to this beautiful 2022 GV80 2.5T Prestige all-wheel drive. If you're in the Sarasota area looking for a premium new car or SUV, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out and ask for Mark or Andrew. Also, huge thanks to all you guys for watching. I had a great time making this video. Again, this is such an impressive SUV. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe. If you already subscribed, thank you so much. You guys know I have endless gratitude for all the subscribers. You know, the channel is just not possible without you guys, and I really have a huge appreciation for each and every one of your constant support. But again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Leave a like too. It really helps me out the YouTube algorithm. That's how these videos get promoted to new people. Leave a comment. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you don't like. Leave a comment. Let me know if there's any specific cars or trucks you'd like to see reviewed in this channel too. I gotta take a sip of water. 1 second, guys. And I'll definitely try to get those videos for you as soon as possible. But other than that, again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope all of you have a great day.